Hello, YouTube watcher. Welcome to mini trip or mega trip. As promised, from the beautiful island of Cyprus. Quite a bit's actually happened since you last saw me, and I'm afraid a few things delayed this video coming out. So we had a big thunderstorm, something like you'll see out of Ghostbusters 2. I had a haircut, obviously, and we also had a few family parties, which have degraded my voice a little bit and really delayed me getting something together for you. But it's an absolute pleasure for you to join me in this wonderful Cypriot village of Dreamu. I'm going to give you a little look around. I think a lot of tourists come to Cyprus, they see the big cities, they see the beaches, they see Paphos, they see Larnaca. But what they don't see is the traditional, typical Cypriot village life. So today I'm going to take you on a little walk through the village and show you what it's really like in the heart of Cyprus. Much of village life in Cyprus happens in the mountains or the foothills of the Troodos Mountains. These are the less developed areas, I guess, around the coast, but really give you a good idea of what old life in Cyprus was like, and actually what a lot of kind of traditional life in Cyprus is like. And the good thing about being in the mountains is hopefully you can see from many of the villages you get stunning views like the one behind me. We'll go and explore a little bit more. Historically, the villages in Cyprus, inland, would have been the very heart of the community, the production for farming, etc. But as Cyprus has modernised as an island, more and more of the population have actually moved down to the coast or around the coastal areas. And this means that now that a lot of Cypriots just maintain their family homes in the mountains. They come here when it gets too hot in the summer, or for holidays, or special events, or things like Easter, or Orthodox Easter. And I'll talk a little bit more about the religion in Cyprus in a minute. But as I've walked through the village this morning, I've just noticed over here a Cypriot flag, and you may not quite be able to see it as it's not too windy. But on the top of this building there flies a Cypriot flag. And the Cypriot flag is a white background with a gold representation of the map of the island of Cyprus. And interestingly, Cyprus was actually the very first country to put a map of itself on their flag. There's worse views for a morning. This is absolutely part of modernisation in Cyprus. We've now got the bin lorry coming through. Been stuck here for some time behind a local, but I'm sure they'll get moving soon. So let's try and get past them and get down into the rest of the village. See what's going on. And you can see here a mixture of beautiful old buildings, some modernisation, and that really also talks to the population of Cypriot villages today. Like I said, some of the homes are just holiday homes, some of the homes are fully residential. You're now also starting to get a smattering of expats across the island that really does make for an exciting mix. Cyprus is actually one of the oldest civilizations, certainly pre-Byzantine, and in fact another little tidbit or interesting fact about Cyprus for those of you who are into your wine is that the oldest wine ever found or ever recorded was actually made here on the island of Cyprus. And there are lots of vineyards, lots of grape growers, lots of local wineries, and it's a great thing to do if you're visiting, particularly if you're visiting up into the mountains. Get yourself a designated driver but you can tour around the local wineries. They'll welcome you in, they'll give you free samples, and I promise you, you'll have one of the best days of your lives. A feature of almost every Cypriot village is, perhaps unsurprisingly, a church. Although this country, or the Republic of Cyprus, is on a map, if you look at it, very close to the Middle East, it is very much a Christian country, but they are Orthodox Christian, not Protestant or Catholic as we would understand. I'll just show you now the church here in the village of Dreamy. And here we can see the beautiful old architecture of this fantastic local church in the foothills of the Troodos Mountains. Notable features that you'll see on almost all of these churches are the big bell at the top, and that will be for ringing out for celebrations, for weddings, for christenings, and for calling people to church. And very likely the next time that rings, or next time that rings seriously, will be for Easter, for Orthodox Easter. I think when I'm putting this video out, the kind of Catholic or Protestant Easter will have already happened that we're used to. But the Orthodox Easter is a little bit later, similar to what they have in Russia. So that will be one of the biggest celebrations of the year. The whole village will join, and they'll start here at the church for a service, and they'll go down to a dedicated area for a feast later. There'll be bonfires, there'll be kleftiko, which is a local dish of lamb meat or beef meat cooked in a clay oven overnight, or at least for the whole day, so it's absolutely falling off the bone. And it's one of the most fantastic traditions here in Cyprus, or what's certainly one of the best dishes. It tends to be a communal dish, big hunks of meat, big hunks of potato. Everyone can join in and eat together. But one of the other traditions in Cyprus, and you may have seen this in the background as I've been walking around, is olive production, and growing olives and olive oil is kind of crucial to the diet here on the island of Cyprus, particularly in the Republic of Cyprus. And you can see here next to the church, as we keep walking around, that they have a preserved oil press. There's two types of press here, and we'll go up and have a little look at these guys now. And these won't have changed for hundreds or even thousands of years. Obviously the plastic chair is a relatively new addition. So you'll have the initial press here, often powered by a donkey, and what will happen is the donkey will tow, oh look, a lizard, there you go, part of the fauna of the wonderful island of Cyprus. But anyway, as I was saying, this is an old oil press, and this will be towed round in a circle by a donkey, and these two wheels will rotate and crush the olives down, and that will get your first press of the extra virgin olive oil coming out of the little spout, just like this. Now obviously the base here has been replaced with concrete, and this is a really good example, but you'll see these all over the island in various states of disrepair, made, hewn from stone, some of them literally from thousands of years ago. And once you have kind of the mash created by the olives left in there, you then move on to the second press, which is a machine like this. And you'll note this looks very much like a cider press that you might find in the orchards of Suffolk or Herefordshire back in the UK. And again, they'll press that mash down and get the normal olive oil, so not the extra virgin. That'll be the next press, the second pressing. I talked earlier about the Cypriot flag, and you can see a little better, slightly better example here. Again, quite furled, so it isn't too much in the way of wind. But also you'll note to have some other flags, such as the Greek flags, the Greek flag here. The Republic of Cyprus, the southern part of the island, very much considers themselves part of that Grecian culture. And there's another flag over here which I don't actually recognise. But the other flag that you'll also see a lot of the time is the European Union flag, the EU flag. The Republic of Cyprus is a very proud member of the EU. They consider themselves a modern society, and in reality, they absolutely are. Anyway, I'm going to keep walking around and we'll show you a bit more what the wonderful villages in the heart of Cyprus can offer you if you were to visit. Oranges, oranges everywhere. Lemons, other citrus fruit. you can see this beautiful little orchard here. Right now it's April, and April is the time of year, it's the time of year when that citrus fruit is becoming ripe. Citrus fruits tend to be a winter fruit, so they ripen up over the winter, and this time of year they're really coming to fruition. But the trees here, they work on a regular cycle, and what you're also getting is this amazing rich orange blossom. And I really wish you could smell what I can smell here. All over the island, the orange trees are blossoming. There's a rich, heady aroma in the air, and you can see almost everywhere you go, there'll be a variety of orchards with orange trees, fruit trees, and of course, the ubiquitous olive trees and orchards you can see here leading down into the valley. Any Cypriot will tell you that Cyprus is a modern republic, and the variety of businesses here, and there are from marketing to tech, banking is massive, or has been pretty significantly big considering the size of the country here in Cyprus. And Cyprus has some of the most stringent protections on the privacy of those using its banking system. Completely unrelated, over the last 20 years or so there's been an influx of Russian money into the ecosystem. But Cyprus is historically, and is still to some extent today, an agricultural place. And part of that agriculture is the raising of sheep. And we haven't seen any yet today, but there certainly will be some knocking around. So if you do go wandering around the beautiful villages of Cyprus, you'll see a lot of things like this. Obviously with religious motifs, speaking of the Orthodox religion here in Cyprus. But these are watering troughs for the livestock. And particularly during the summer, when the animals have to get a lot of water, you will see herds of sheep being shepherded still around the roads of Cyprus. Often these drinking troughs are placed near traditional natural sources of water, and you can see here a beautiful little stream running down from the mountains. But obviously in the summer those will dry up, and these modern or more modern drinking troughs will be used. I say more modern, some of them are indeed ancient, hundreds of years old, built by some of those civilizations that we've talked about in the past being here. The Byzantines, the Romans have all been here, followed of course by the Brits in later years, and many, many others over the decades and millennia. Well, will you look at this? Look what I've just found on my walk around the village. A beautiful, beautiful cow. Hello, Mr. Cow. Oh, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Hello, Mr. Cow. Hello. As you can see, this is absolutely typical. Villagers will still keep their own small holdings. Olives, fruit, livestock, such as this beautiful cow here. So, dear YouTube watcher, I have now hiked up round to the other side of the village. You can see I'm a little bit hot and sweaty as the temperature's starting to come up here today. It'll get to 26, 27, 28, if not a little bit higher. But I've hiked up here to end the video with you. It was once said that Mark Antony gifted the island of Cyprus to Cleopatra, and it is not hard to see why. Beautiful views like this, running down the valley, from the mountains down to the sea. And that's where I'll leave you today. But, of course, do join me next time on Megatrip, or on this Megatrip mini-trip, as I'll be having a little look at the city of Paphos, or Kato Paphos, so Old Paphos. So a much more built-up area of the island, but still with some amazing history. And we'll also have a look at the slightly more tourist culture, the beautiful harbour, and many more interesting things. Maybe we'll have some food, some drink, and explore that together. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen, do please make sure you subscribe, share the channel with your friends, And if you've been to Cyprus and you think I've got something wrong or there's something to add, please do leave a comment below. And of course, if there's other things or other places you want me to go, see, do, then write that in the comments too. So that's all for this time on Megatrip. We'll see you next time.